a few months ago, the right was panicking about this, supposed teacher who wore enormous, prosthetic in front of children, and they thought it was creepy. And, well, actually, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Yeah. So,
okay, good.
Gender teacher proven to be. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, okay. So I found the article. I didn't have it linked for whatever reason. Yeah. So, with Z-cup prosthetic breasts, presents as a man outside of school, where students were told they would be suspended for taking her picture. Huh. Supposedly, gender teacher actually presents as a man when she's outside of school? How could that be? Okay, let's get into the weeds more here.
Okay, and a woman. I'm very confused about it. I'm going to be honest with you with this stuff. So what does that mean? Can you translate for me? Trans teacher.
So, in essence, it's an op. It's a right-wing op.
Oh, it's nothing.
It's a right-wing op. Yeah. It's pretty much like a false flag wouldn't be the correct term, but it's a right-wing op to make leftists and people to be like creeps when they actually aren't. Wait, this guy, this woman, I'm just going to revoke, all gendered pronouns and call them a they, them, because we don't know at this point, okay? So this horrible, horrible human being was calling themselves a woman and then wearing these absolutely, enormous breasts and dressing as a woman to make people look bad.
Lady, right?
Yeah, with the, enormous fake
I saw that,
that the right-wingers were just, over months ago.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was an op. The whole who could have thought? A person this bombastic, this cartoonishly presenting. And that's you think that's real? No, nobody does that. Okay, so all this person had to do, because in order to be in most professional settings, you can say, oh, my internal perception of myself is that which is feminine, and I have dysphoria, therefore, I think I'm a woman. So all this, had to do was just call themselves and present as female. Then they think, oh, this person's. Well, isn't it odd that they're presenting entirely masculine-like when they're outside of a school setting? Could it just be that this is a conservative op, a false flag in the social sense, if you will, to actually blame gender people and leftists for when they're actually doing the cross-dressing and the gender fluidity themselves? Right-wingers are so repressed to the point where they have to masquerade their cross-dressing and their, secret gender fluidity as, some sort of own against the people. Well, let's face the reality. You have this manifest desire to, cross-dress, or actually as much as, and you mask it and you repress it in this sort of like performative gesture against. So I actually want to elucidate the full context of this. So we were told štieiЛ𝖺yitéi, or however you pronounce that French name, wears Z-cup prosthetic breasts and presents as female. However, a neighbor claims it's all an act and has seen her dressed as a man. Huh. He wears prosthetic breasts extremely infrequently, the neighbor said. So pretty much every time this person is outside of school, they're just presenting a man. How odd is that? That specifically they wear all these wigs and all these makeup and all these women's clothes at school and all these fake breasts at school, but every time they're outside of school, they're just presenting as a man. Tearing itself up. Anyway, I'm just going to read maybe 5 paragraphs in this, then I'll talk about the context. The school teacher in Canada who went viral for her prosthetic Z-cup breasts was allegedly seen by neighbor dressing as a man outside school grounds. Kayla Libier, previously known as Carrie, or possibly still known as Carrie because, this person is presenting as a male this entire time, wears extra large breasts with artificial nipples under tight tops along with flex shorts and a blonde wig. She teaches at Oakville Trafalgar High School near Toronto in Ontario. Students and parents have raised concerns about Lemier's attire, saying it mocks women and the education experience. Until now, the board has supported her decision to dress that way, and in December, it emerged students had been threatened with suspension if they took photos of her.
Yeah.
I totally believe. I totally believe this is a legitimate person and not a total right-wing op. Yeah, definitely. But a neighbor who lives in the same complex as Lemier.
No.
Omar, I mean, isn't this how all are these hyper deviant, of children? Or at least that's what Tucker's taught me to think about them.
Yeah.
They're definitely not just normal, everyday people who you wouldn't mistake for the opposite gender, unless you thoroughly, examined every facet of their body. Now, but, okay, a neighbor who lives in the same complex as Lemier claims he's seen her dressed as a man out away from work. The neighbor, who remained anonymous, told the New York Post. The New York Post actually first broke this story, which was fascinating because they're this tabloid. that Lemier's presentation as a female is all an act. And early on, I said to them, "You actually believe this isn't a total right-wing op?" The dishonesty is so astounding.
Okay,
so obviously there's her. What do you want to say?
Why would the school let her come in like that? Even if she was a regular woman, I wouldn't even let her come like that.
Yeah, I think that was excessive. Yeah, I think on the school board's part, that was very excessive.
This is an op, right? That's not a real. They're just doing that just to make fun of, right? Try to create a controversy or what?
Yeah, it was fake the whole time because the narrative they want to sell you is that people are raping your children when they show you a rainbow Apple logo, but it's every one of these attempts to make people look like they're indoctrinating children and being sexual around them is actually a right-wing op. So it's in truth the right-wingers who are being sexual around children and then blaming people for the dishonesty that they put out into the world.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to say?
First of all, I don't know what this fascination with the right wing and the community, why they're so adamant in attacking this community and creating this havoc all the time. They're using them as a vehicle for political gain and to score points with them because they are empty pocketed with ideas or things of that nature. But the problem is it's working. What they're doing, the vilification of the community, because when I go out and I go to coffee shops, Yemen, like Arabic coffee shops, and I sit down and I drink, I hear people talking. Oh, we don't want this thing in our school in Arabic. They're trying to take out the same thing you hear on Fox News is gaining traction in certain communities who are conservative, as not because they're conservative, because they I guess just by nature they're conservative. They're still religious. They still hold on to certain things, but it's working in this community. This is the problem. And I find it interesting that the right wing, like Daily Wire, every day they will have a segment on every day, whether it's Michael Knowles or Candace Owens or whatever. Or Candace Owen or the other group of people. They always have a segment there to keep that group, to keep on feeding that certain group that has this thing about the. I'm going to be as honest with you as possible. I didn't know anything about this community before 2015. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know what it was because I didn't pay attention too much to the news. I only paid enough attention to the news after Trump got elected because when I saw this crazy son of a bitch going nuts and racist, then I started reading and going interested. The whole Obama presidency passed by. I didn't even pay attention, not even one day. So what I want to go back to this whole thing. I cannot understand this fascination with these people. I mean, it's like they're attacking them every day. There's something, and they pounded on that hateful of these people and creating an environment where it's dangerous for them. They are getting killed, But you got to understand, the conservative movement will use anything because they're empty of ideas. They don't have no real ideas to present. They have no policy. They don't have nothing. Name one policy for the deregulation. All right, see what happened to the trains, right? What they gonna deregulate? You understand? So these people I call them moving targets with empty pockets. They always have a moving target, but when you look at them, they have empty pockets. They have nothing to show for it. That's what it's all about. I mean, first of all, I don't know why the board let that lady, whether she's fake or real, she should not be in front of kids like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not conservative or anything like that. You understand? I mean, I know we want to.
I believe that was excessive on the school board's part.
Excessive. I mean, that's not right to look. Even if she was real, she could have been dressed. But let's see if
but it's a right winger doing it.
I know. You saw what happened. It's self-destruction. You saw what happened to Project. What's that? Vartis? They kicked that guy out. What's his name? That piece of who founded it. What's his name? I forgot his name.
It was crazy.
Huh? You know, Project Vartis, right?
Yeah.
What's that piece of man?
Yeah, I'm aware.
They kicked him out because there's a thing going on with the money and stuff like that. Because it's all about thievery. It's about making money and stealing donors' money. It is. There's gonna be more story to that. O'Keefe, something like that. His name is O'Keefe or something of that nature. That's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on, man. They just keep on
James O'Keefe
down on these. Okay, this is the same person. What is this photo? Is this an image of the person?
Yeah. Here's this. You know.
This is him, right?
They're the same person. Yeah, this apparently teacher, completely presents as masculine outside of a school setting.
That's him, right?
This don't much look like a woman to me, except for the, maybe long hair. Yeah.
Yeah. But the breasts, they're fake or prosthetic. That means they like plastic, right? Is that what it means?
Yeah, and this teacher is claiming at the same time they're real. Like,
no, they're not.
It claims they are real. Well, okay. What happened to the breast? That must be a really concealing shirt.
He's a. What they're doing is they're destroying the image of the community of crazy people who walk into school. I have a bad back. I don't know how to like that if it was real. You can't walk around with these things. You understand? And it is crazy. There's a lot of. I mean, sometimes when you mix the stew with a lot of stuff, so you don't know what's true from false. For me, and you will know, but people who are weak-minded, who believe the stuff already, they feed into it. They say, "Oh, look at these crazy bad. Look at them. Look at that. They want our kids to go to school and see that. You see these crazy. They're dangerous. They are evil. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they want to do."
Yeah, which is why we've got to stop conservative,
and they succeeded. I'm telling you,
from doing that to children.
My community is so ripe to become Republicans. The only thing they hate Republicans is because of the anti-immigration stand. That's you understand?
They don't care about Muslims.
Yeah, for easy picking, man. Because they have moved this issue. They're winning with this issue. These communities or immigrant communities. I spoke to like maybe 7 different people, when we talk about that, because, I was with, what's her name? Melody, Melody. I had a show with her, and they said, "Well, why are you talking with her?" I said, "What do you mean I'm talking with her? She's intellectual, she's smart, she has an idea. I don't care what she does." He said, "Well, they're trying to, take our kids. They want to put our kids in school. They're trying to take our kids. They want to teach them this stuff that a man is not a man, and this woman is not a woman. We don't want our school." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, they're not doing that. Nobody's doing
leftists are the NPCs, apparently. Yeah. We're just the ones that will just believe anything, apparently.
Yeah. I'm telling them, I say, that's not true. Don't believe that. This is it's a political war. There's a culture war. I try to explain to them what a culture war is. I'm like saying there's a culture war in the United States. They're just using any weapons they can to score points on each other. Sometimes even it doesn't matter if it's a lie, as long as they score a point, like what they did with the train. Oh, there's a war on white people. Really? How? Oh, you understand? Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Well, if it's a war on white people, it's neoliberalism's war on white people. It's Trump's war on white people because he deregulated this to the point where it caused this disaster.
White people are the of their own people, man. Their own elites. The white elites are taking advantage of the poor whites. It's always been like that for 200 or 300 years. You understand? They use vehicles in wars to go die. Now to go to vote, every cycle they come up with something. CRT. Now they're not talking about CRT that much like they used to. Remember, it was every day. Now let's ban books. Especially
Because
is a snowflake. He's not going to make it. No?
Yeah, because eventually these moral panics, they're kind of like Ponzi schemes. They fall apart. Some conservatives, grow weary and kind of want out and want to focus on another cultural issue. And some people just aren't motivated enough and start to like shift away from the big lie that they're being told. Like you mean to tell me that this graduate level theory, this post-grad level theory actually about intersectionalism and criminal justice and racism in the legal system,
they're shifting away from Donald Trump. Donald Trump, that's it. It's old news. He's like a comedian with the same materials that he uses. He never had a special to get rid of it. Start new materials.
Well, the same thing's going to happen with DeSantis, because once they realize he's this absolute husk of a politician who only focuses on these half culture war bills that do absolutely nothing. Like,
once he gets out of he's gonna away. Right now, he's running for president in Florida. That's all he's doing. He's scaring those people in there. Oh, the immigrants there. Oh, communism, socialism, the El Salvadorans, whatever, and the Cubans. And he's using all these people. Every day he gets up. What's in the news? Let's say it. And he doesn't know how to function outside that. He's like a, what do you call, like a robotic? There's artificial intelligence that they have now. You write the words and they just say them. Because remember when he had the debate with that guy, he asked him, are you going to run for president? He just froze. Like 20 seconds? Remember he said, can you tell the people you're not going to run for president if you win the governorship? He's like, he froze. He don't know how to answer that. He's not real. He's not realistic. He's robotic. Trump is going to have a field day. He already called him meatball.
Yeah.
That's just so racist, mother. I call that
because these are the same people that will constantly say, hey, racism against white people, meatball wrong. What?
That's so anti-Italian, man. The thing. So I took an opportunity just to knock down on Michael Knowles because I know he's Italian. He's a piece of racist garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said, did you just call me the M word? I don't know if he's using that static, like the N word. I said, yeah, I called you a meatball, man. Meatball Ron. Anyway, the whole idea is that now you have let's go before I know you have more stuff. Like that idiot who just ran for president, what's her name? Nikki Haley. She has nothing to offer. Oh, ageism. Oh, they're too old. What the fuck are you doing? You isolated like a big,
you want me to cover her announcing her bid for president?
No, go with the program what you had. We just add it into it. Go ahead. What you got next?
Okay, now that you suggest covering Nikki Haley announcing her run, I kind of want to do that, but what I was originally going to cover was the typical So we have Matt Walsh, clamoring about Matt Walsh and his, satanic panic, and Lauren Chen. He's a dumb
man. The way he talks, he's like, he wrote, I just came home. She's making dinner, and the kids are playing. I want, leave it to Beaver mentality. Shut the fuck up. You probably get beat up every night by your wife, or probably have love sex where she pegs him. Come on, man. I know these fucking. You saw Matt Schaub. He was dicks all over the place. Come on, man. These are phony. The old cockholes. Remember Jerry Falwell? He was the president of 100,000 student body. He was 2 weeks before he got caught. Well, I carried this gun because those Muslim terrorists come. I have him on video. Shoot him. I will shoot him. You all should carry guns. Shut up. You pay somebody to get the
I was actually gonna bring something up here. I think it's on my Twitter profile. Here it is. Yeah. Settings tab. Here, I'm gonna share my screen. Here it is. Here's a convenient list. So if you want to go to my Twitter, you'll find this really handy dandy list in case somebody calls, a queer person or a liberal or a leftist. There you go. It's right here. Convicted.
Dennis Hassett was the Speaker of the House. I don't know for how many years, the longest Speaker Republican. He used to be a college coach. He had a recliner in the children's bathroom so he could watch little kids take shower. That piece of He was
Yeah.
conservative. He's hanging around with Bush, and he was after Newt Gingers. He was the Speaker of the House, and he was a pedophile. I'm telling you, man. And if you go to these true crimes, they have this guy who's a senator, I think in Oklahoma. He got caught looking for a 16-year-old. It's so cringy, and they are sick, man. They're sick.
They
So,
are
yeah.
bad men. Bad men.
Yeah.
So
man.
we have either Matt Walsh and
Yeah,
him
piece of
covering
shit.
the Sam Smith Grammy performance, or we have Lauren Shen raging at Chelsea Handler's video where she was
Lauren
talking
Shen,
about her,
she's the Candace Owen of the Asian community. She wants to be white so bad, and she's defending white nationalism, white Proud Boys, whatever. There's a movement inside the Asian community to become white, to become like, I don't know, man. I don't want to say